All right, everybody, we have with us tonight the great one herself, the one and only, Princess Maryanne Parker. Are you there, Princess? Is that you, Princess Maryanne Parker?
That's me.
Yay, Princess Maryanne Parker. Oh my goodness, Princess Maryanne Parker. Let's take a look at Manner of Manners. There she is.
Our next guest is from Bulgaria.
Maryanne Parker, she is an etiquette expert with Manner of Manners.
Author of The Sharpest Soft Skill. And here to teach us proper vacation etiquette and tips on Easter etiquette.
We have Maryanne Parker here
with the new do's and don'ts of wedding manners.
and what to expect at the royal wedding. So here to help with our social media etiquette, Maryanne Parker.
Please welcome America's foremost expert on personal and business etiquette, the princess of etiquette, Princess Maryanne Parker.
You recently spoke at Harvard about etiquette.
I came to the United States 13 years ago as a happily married young woman, full of positivity, energy, faith, and hope. 8 months later, I'm living in a homeless shelter for victims of domestic violence with my 2 children. Today, I am a princess. I'm royalty in my business field, and I train corporations to become royalty in their business field.
You have 2 #1 international best-selling books called The Sharpest Soft Skill and Posh Overnight.
Where can we learn more about other etiquette tips and proper behavior? www.mannerofmanners.com.
That is so fantastic. Oh my God, what a fantastic sizzle that is. It really truly is. How long have you been in the process of building your celebrity brand and positioning in order to be able to create this sizzle that we just watched?
I started in February. The coming February is going to be 2 years, so less than 2 years.
That's quite an accomplishment, I really have to say. Less than 2 years to get a sizzle like that.
I think that I've got the momentum, so I can't really stop. It's like you get so much energy and you're driving with such a speed that actually is dangerous for you to jump out of the car. You can't even stop your own car. It's just crazy.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. I remember when you're now, how many appearances have you already done?
30.
30.
30.
Yeah. And I remember my 32nd appearance was on NBC New York. That was my 32nd. February of 2012 was my 32nd appearance. And then by New Year's Eve and New Year's Day of 2013, I was doing a whole bunch of New Year's resolutions appearances all over. I booked a tour, Las Vegas, Albuquerque, Phoenix, and Tucson. I remember being in Phoenix. I was somewhere around, 40 appearances by then. And I remember thinking to myself, what am I doing this for? Why am I walking around Phoenix, Arizona in a wool suit? It's 80 degrees. I'm wearing a suit and tie, walking around here doing segments on New Year's resolutions. Why am I doing this? And I'll tell you what, I did not know the answer. But I had faith in the process. I had faith that if I could become a big enough celebrity, that I could do anything I wanted. And here we are today.
Sometimes I'm the same.
That's exactly what you have to do, my dear. You just have to keep going and have faith that as you build your celebrity bigger and bigger and bigger, you're going to be able to do anything you want. And it may not even be what you're doing now. We don't know. We don't know what the future will bring. We don't know where celebrity is going to take us, but it is going to only take you bigger and better.
Well, it helped me a lot today. For example, I had to confirm one of my speaking engagements for January, and they didn't respond for some reason for about a week. So I sent an additional email, and I said, okay, I have some fun information for the holidays to tip or not to, or to skip, enjoy. So I sent this email with my YouTube video from the last segment, that I did 2 days ago, and I got emails from 6 people. They confirmed me for Friday. They wanted me to talk to the CEO of the company, for a phone call. Everything was confirmed. They asked me to send my bio. They asked me to send a picture that is approved. So all the 6 emails from different people because I'm not anymore in the corporate world, so I don't remember how all this was working. But it's very powerful. When they see you on TV, they're like, oh my God, okay, we need to get fast to her because probably if we don't book her, somebody else will book her for this, So this is what I did.
That's what it's all about. That's called hustling your celebrity.
And it has nothing to do with business etiquette. So that's why I go on TV because I figured out how you said we need to figure out how to get on TV. So with my business etiquette, I don't get on TV. I get on TV only with the social etiquette aspect. But
who cares?
They don't want to know about, yeah, exactly.
Who cares? Mm-hmm. And Maryanne, what you have stumbled into is exactly what you need. It's one of the many ways that you can be using your TV appearances to hustle up celebrity opportunities. Hey, I was just on TV in Philadelphia talking about to tip or to skip. I thought you would enjoy it. And by the way, what's going on with my booking to speak for your event? It's an excuse to contact a customer or a prospect. That's what this is. And that's what all marketing is an excuse to contact a new prospect or a customer. When you come out with a new book, that's a great excuse to contact prospects and customers. Hey, I have a new book out. I got to tell you, when Celebrity Entrepreneurship, the book, is available as a hardcover, I am going to be talking about it. Look, I'm already talking about it, right? I've already been talking about it for weeks, and I'm going to be talking about it, promoting it, pushing it out there, using it as a way to drum up interest, eyeballs, attention, thoughts, credit cards, to come to me to do more stuff with me. Why? Because I'm going to be on the top of their minds. Because I'm going to be pushing it out there. Hey, I have a new book out. Hey, I'm on TV talking about this thing. Hey, I'm on TV talking about that thing. And by the way, this thing is available for you to buy. All of this stuff is called marketing. And we are entrepreneurs, so we don't have huge budgets to go on TV and spend millions and millions of dollars on commercials to create image with frequency and repetition the way Mercedes-Benz and Coca-Cola do. All we have is our cleverness. What we have is to tip or skip. Now let me ask you this question. Who came up with that?
Certain things come to me somehow. I don't even know what is going on. So.
You came up with that?
Yeah, I came up with that, and I've been coming up with very crazy things. I think that it's because of the income doubler.
Wow. I got to tell you, Maryanne, to tip or skip, that's awesome.
Yeah, and the other one is to tip or not to tip. This is the question, like Shakespeare.
No, to tip or skip, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's the way I send the email to everybody saying to tip or to skip because I thought it was cute. And, I think it went too well. I never done this segment before, so I had to prepare myself. I actually got something like a panic attack when I was in Philadelphia for some reason. I don't know. I woke up like 1 o'clock a.m. and I was thinking, oh my God, what am I doing? First of all, I'm in Philadelphia. I'm so far and I'm so scared because I thought that I'm not scared because everybody's like, are you scared? No, I'm okay. But for some reason, I was so freaked out.
Let's go back to the beginning. Yeah. Okay? Because the people need to know how far you've come. Tell them your story.
First of all, I think that this is the best life I'm living right now because this is exactly what I wanted to do without even knowing it. But at the same time, most of the people know me. So I came to the United States and I was very happily married. I had my daughter, my son was born, but very shortly after that, I ended up in a shelter for domestic violence victims. And it was horrible. So we didn't have any money. I was super broke. We were living on a welfare. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a house, obviously, if we were living in a shelter. So after 5 years, I bought a house. I was working all the time. So now when I started working with Clint, which I'm so grateful, I actually can't believe it that this happened. That's why I think that if God has a plan for us, no one is going to take us out of this future success somehow because you just have to follow with faith. And I wasn't sure how to find the money because for me it was a lot of money. I was thinking, oh my God, how am I going to pay that? That's just, the amount was so staggering for me. But things happen and God makes ways and gets better and better. This is what I think. So I just can't stop. And yeah, my target is I want to get to media #1 in New York and Los Angeles. So I don't know how this is going to happen, but I know that it's going to happen. So, and I love it. I just love being on TV for some reason. It's just so exciting.
I tell you, I remember your situation very clearly. What day did we talk?
Okay, so we spoke. I saw you on Forbes.com. And I said, oh my God, this is what I want to do. And when I saw the price, I'm like, oh, that's impossible. I can't do that. So I sent you an email. And the crazy thing is that you actually called me on my phone. And I was, how is this possible? This person who is like so far, for me, you were like in the sky somewhere. Like such a prosperous and a famous person. And you called me immediately and you said, okay, I'm in Mexico and tomorrow I'm going to call you at 12 o'clock. And it was actually Christmas. It was Christmas. I was like, 12 o'clock Christmas? And I was with my kids. It was just me and my kids. It was 2 years ago. And you told me, okay, I think that you really need that. It's going to help you. And I was thinking, I can't afford it. I don't know what to do. But I signed. I said, no, I'm going for it. I don't know what is going to happen, but I'm going for it. And you didn't let me go for the celebrity lunch class because we were reading every day. I was even working for a company, and every time at my lunchtime I go, and you were asking me, okay, so you're going to read this. And it was so funny because I was reading something. We have these napkins. It was something about napkins and cutlery, and it was just horrible. And I was reading this page every single day, and he said, no, you're not doing this. You're doing this horrible. You talk like a freaking immigrant. You can't get on TV. So I was like, oh my God, so what am I supposed to do? But when I hear myself, I don't really understand what I'm talking as well. So you kind of made a point. I never knew that. People speak with an accent, and maybe other people understand them. Like I understand curse, but my English was so like one word. It was just very, very sloppy, I guess. I didn't accentuate on the words. I didn't, the pronunciation was really bad, and he was telling me, okay, so you're going to say this, say because, not because, say appropriate. So we were doing a lot of repetition every day. So I said, oh my God, this is a great coach. So I'm just surprised that he didn't shut me off. So, and after that, I went to West Point.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Now, it came to be time for you to come to, you were supposed to go to like September Celebrity Launchpad, right? Or October. And I said, Maryanne, you're not ready. I still can't understand what the hell you're saying.
Yes.
You're the first person I ever said, you can't come to Celebrity Launchpad. I know you're registered. You're supposed to be there. We have a chair for you, but I can't have you come because you're not going to succeed. You need more experience.
I remember that very well.
You need more experience as a speaker.
Yes. And Ali was so supporting that. She said, don't worry, honey, he really wants you to succeed, because I was almost crying. And she said, he's going to change your life. Don't worry, don't give up. Just do what he says. And I was trying so hard. And finally I came to West Point. And I did a speech for 5 minutes, but I didn't do any training or anything. So I don't know, I was shaking. It was very scary, very scary. I think that was a long process, because everything for me was so scary, and I saw so many people and you speak in front of them. I wasn't speaking ever. I was trying to get on, on TV. It was this crazy experience.
Where's your West Point video? Maryanne Parker, West Point. Oh, this is only one. This is the one in the cemetery.
surrounded by leaders. And in this ceremony, each of you has the opportunity to honor a leader with a few words.
Maryanne Parker. I'm originally from Bulgaria, and I would like to say a few words about integrity. And my hero is General Honore. In the year 2005, when I was battling my personal challenges and trying to save my children and myself in the homeless shelter for victims of domestic violence, he had to save the whole city of New Orleans, and he had to make the right decision versus the politically and the bureaucratically correct one. So he's my hero. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. What do you think about that? Watching that? I mean, that was 2 years ago. What do you think?
Yes, it's like different person, literally, because I really don't understand what he's talking about.
Yeah, but
this lady there.
How about this lady there, and how nervous and how nervous and scared she is to be up there talking?
Yes, I was so scared and shaking.
When I was battling my first...
Not smiling?
Oh, no. Smiling.
Well, look, I think that this was a really important experience for you to go to West Point.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Talk about the impact of speaking at West Point, will you?
It's just very majestic venue. I met incredibly interesting people. It's just very helpful because especially I saw people that were trained by you for the VIP experience, and I wasn't. So this kind of changed my perspective as well, that you really need training. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen without any training. So this was, I had to see it. And I met Buzz Aldrin, which I couldn't believe it. So I took pictures, and I was creating my social media profile, so everybody was so shocked. I met General Honore, which, I mean, come on, I'm from Bulgaria. People cannot believe that, that things like that actually can happen.
Oh, it happened all right. Here you are in the West Point Officers Club with Colonel Buzz Aldrin, the second man to walk on the moon in front of a large audience at West Point. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that was crazy. And one of my teachers from Brussels, he told me that this is his favorite, actually, person in the world. So I sent him a picture of me, because he trained me from Brussels, right? So I sent him a picture of me and Buzz Aldrin and one of my books. He couldn't believe it because, I'm working on my success, even if I was there just in the beginning, So it was powerful, very powerful.
All right. After West Point, then you, I believe, matured and hit a transition and a transcendence, and went on to come to Celebrity Launchpad your first time in January, right?
It was in January 31st, yeah.
Yeah, January 2017. How was your experience of coming to Celebrity Launchpad?
I was super excited. I was really, really excited, but I knew that it's not going to be easy, and I had a great segment. I thought that my segment was really, really cute. I met, I think in June, I met some really awesome people as well, and everybody was trying so hard. It was tough, but it was amazing. It was just one of the most beautiful experiences. And Ali was so supportive, and she made everything so beautiful as well. And the food were great, and we were just hustling and eating. It was just, I don't know, it was just really, really nice experience. And I remember that I started posting. I became a little bit more active on social media because I had something to post. So everybody was shocked. This is my very first video.
This one right here?
Yeah, this is my very first video ever.
This was your first TV appearance?
Yes.
Let's take a look at this, and we'll see the growth of Maryanne Parker.
Oh my God, I'm scared to watch this. I was actually really scared.
Happening today, and for your
2 weeks
information,
after it
it's
came out.
Valentine's Day. You made reservations at the perfect restaurant. You got your sweetheart the perfect gift, but things can still go less than perfect if you're not careful.
Nothing can make a date go south like poor etiquette, turning all that hard work into a less than savory memory for your Valentine, and they might just soon forget. Joining us now is etiquette expert Maryanne Parker from Manner of Manners.com. Good morning.
Good morning. So this is a very timely topic here before we head out. You say that there are 5 big no-nos when it comes to proper etiquette on a date night.
According to a recent survey, many breakups are happening on Valentine's Day or a few days after, and there is a reason behind. So the first etiquette mistake which we should avoid is being late. Don't be late for your date because nobody likes to wait. And there is no such a thing as being fashionably late. There is only such a thing as being unfashionably rude. So don't be late.
And sometimes we kind of do that here in New Mexico. I know a lot of times we're 5 minutes late to things.
Punctuality isn't on the top of the list.
So let's work on that, guys. Let's get that out of the way. Number 2.
Happens sometimes. The second etiquette mistake is dressing inappropriately. You have to dress one level up. For example, if you know you're going to a nice restaurant, just dress up. This will be very suitable for the occasion, and this is especially for the couples when they spend their time at home, because sometimes you're very relaxed, you're very comfortable, but can you imagine if your husband or wife prepared such a nice atmosphere, candlelight dinner, beautiful music, and you show up with your slippers or shorts or pajama? So try to fit the occasion. Is very important. It means that you're involved.
So, now, one question though, because I know that a lot of folks might be wanting to surprise their Valentine. So should we say, hey, we're going to go do this? Is it okay to kind of nudge them in the direction, say, I think kind of fancy, you might want to dress up a little bit?
Yes, it's always a good idea because you don't want to feel them, to make them feel intimidated as well. They don't want to be too surprised.
Right.
So they want to fit. Yes, not too surprised. And the third etiquette mistake, which we definitely have to avoid, is something I believe that we're all very...
I want to stop right here. I just want to stop right here. This host is notoriously difficult. And, this is a perfect example. Allie, could you be a little more quiet? This is a perfect example of this guy because he'll throw you some kind of unrelated question, not what you're talking about. And what I really appreciate what you did here is you did not let his off-topic question derail your whole segment. You went right back in and said, and then the third mistake to avoid. So that was really good. Let's continue.
We need to leave the phone alone, at least for tonight, because we're always looking at our Facebook, LinkedIn profile, emails. Just leave it alone, at least for tonight. Of course, if there's something urgent, you can let your date know about it, but don't be too attached, at least for tonight. So I think that we're all guilty of that. The fourth etiquette mistake is don't bring negative topics to the table. If something happened in the past, just leave it in the past. Don't bring it in the tonight's...
Hold on a second. Maryanne Parker types in, I'm shaking there. What do you mean?
I'm sorry, I forgot that I'm actually unmuted. I was super scared, so I was shaking there. You can sense it in my voice. I speak like I'm 12 or something.
You were super scared, shaking with fear.
I was shaking. I was literally shaking, and I was trying. They were showing my hands, I think, in one moment. So I was trying to calm down. It was very scary to me.
Let's take another look at Maryanne Parker. So scared, she's actually shaking.
You can let your date know about it, but don't be too attached, at least for tonight. So I think that we're all guilty of that. The fourth etiquette mistake is don't bring negative topics to the table. If something happened in the past, just leave it in the past. Don't bring it in the tonight's celebration, because I promise you this will ruin your date. And talk about something pretty. Talk about some nice destinations, something to talk about, something to plan, roses, flowers, or even about just laugh. It's Valentine's Day. So the fifth etiquette mistake, which we definitely have to avoid, is not making enough eye contact. We always have to make eye contact. I always advise that the eye contact should be appropriate in business and other social situations. You need to break it up a little bit, not to scare the person. But in this occasion, you can definitely dive in. Yeah, it feels special.
Because that is very intimate when you're looking at someone and you're making eye
And
contact.
that kind of goes hand in hand with this as well. Make sure that the eyes aren't on the screen; they're on the person you're with.
That's true, because for some reason we never live in the moment.
Yeah.
So, and if we follow those etiquette tips, I promise you will have the best Valentine's Day ever.
Yay!
More about other etiquette tips and proper behavior.
You can go to www.mannerofmanners.com.
Fantastic.
All right. Now, you saw the sizzle, folks. Think about the growth, the performance growth as a performer between the sizzle reel, mannerofmanners.com, and the first one that you saw right there. Before we go on, I want to look at the Fox 5 appearance, which was a big one for you. And then we'll go on to the Philadelphia one to wrap up this segment in the next 15 minutes or so. But I want you to reflect now, Maryanne. I would like you to please reflect on your personal journey. How different do you feel today than you did on that day?
I feel that I'm a different person. I am definitely a different person because I'm very much more confident. I go there. I know that I can handle it. They cannot really threaten me with anything because I know the answers. I know my topic. I know how to behave. I like to make jokes because I don't want to be just this talking head and everybody's so bored. So some people might not get the jokes, if they try to be difficult, but I don't really care. So I continue, and eventually they laugh. So I also figured out what to wear because for so long I couldn't figure out what to wear. I know the colors, but I couldn't figure out, do I need to wear. I finally found my costume. So my costume is, for example, pants or like a jumpsuit or something with a jacket. Not dresses, nothing, just like this. So I've done 4 segments with a jacket. And here I'm 17 pounds less than my first segment that you saw with the pink jacket.
You lost 17 pounds since you started going on TV 2 years ago.
Yeah, I've lost 17 pounds because when I see myself on TV, I get scared. I'm like, oh my God, I don't look like that. So I met a client and she told me, I saw you on TV and you don't look like that on the real life because TV makes you bigger, I guess. So she said, you look much smaller when I see you in person. So I'm thinking, you know what, I need to work on that because I'm tired of this. So, yeah, I've lost 17 pounds. I'm very happy about it, and I'll continue to do so. I was wearing dresses or some blouses or whatever. So, and I don't like myself.
Yeah.
But so I'm wearing a dress here. I'm okay, but not so much. So here I'm wearing a jacket, and I like myself.
I tell you, you look amazing right here. This is... you look.
Oh, thank you.
You look so powerful and in charge of your own life, and 3-dimensional. It's a really fantastic look, Maryanne, and very professional and perfect for TV. Really, the only thing I would tweak is I might put color underneath there instead of black.
Yeah, maybe I wasn't sure because it was for Christmas, so I was thinking maybe something red. I might do something like that because next week I'm not gonna use red. I'll probably go with green. But it was funny because the anchor said, "Oh, you look good and you smell good." So for me it was so funny. So I started laughing. So he kind of broke the ice. So I felt much more comfortable. I wasn't scared when I went with them on the table. I was scared during the night for some reason. But when I got there, I was okay. I kind of knew that I would be okay.
Let's take a look at your first appearance on Fox 5 because that was a big breakthrough for you, appearing in your hometown on the #1 morning show in San Diego, Fox 5 San Diego. Let's see where that one is. This was what?
You're
Was this a
watching
year ago?
Fox 5 Morning News at 9.
9:40 still at on Fox 5. Impress your date.
This is 1 year ago, right?
Oh, no. It was actually this year. No, this February. I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is February.
Yeah, a little less than a year ago.
It's Valentine's Day. We are talking live with an etiquette expert about the five mistakes to avoid on your big night.
I've probably made them all, but let's check in first with Heather Lake.
Do you want to impress your date this Valentine's Day? Joining us now this morning, etiquette expert and author of Posh Overnight, Maryanne Parker. Good morning and happy Valentine's Day week.
Good morning.
Okay, let's listen up. We'll put on our listening ears for anybody who's doing something romantic this week and does not want to mess it up. You say that there are 5 things to avoid doing on this Valentine's Day.
That's correct. Well, we are living in the finest city in America, so we should bring some finesse this Valentine's Day. So, did you know by any chance that most of the breakups are happening on Valentine's Day or a few days after? So, yes, we should follow those etiquette tips.
Really?
Number 1 is don't be late for your date because nobody likes to wait. And I just want to clear that there is not such a thing of being fashionably late, but there is definitely such a thing of being unfashionably rude. So if you need some time, maybe 15-20 minutes extra, just prepare yourself earlier, but we don't want to be late for our date.
Yeah, I always say that the rule is if you're 15 minutes early, then that means you're on time.
Well, that's correct.
Yeah,
we always have to be on time.
Okay, so we are not going to be late for our date. What are we also not going to do, Maryanne?
Number 2 is that we shouldn't be dressing too casual because, you know, especially for the more seasoned couples, we become really relaxed, more comfortable.
Yeah.
We just lose the spark somehow. So we have to make sure that the etiquette rule is to dress one level up. When we do that, we'll feel very comfortable and we'll be perfectly accepted everywhere.
Okay.
And number 3 is, I don't know if it's just me or everybody else around me, but we should leave our phone alone.
Did you hear that? Leave your phone alone.
Because if I take my phone and I start checking my messages, my Facebook account, my LinkedIn account, the connection with my partner is going to be lost.
Yes.
And this is going to spoil the mood for the evening. So we can't really leave the phone at home because we really need it.
Yes.
But at least we should leave it alone for the evening.
Yes. Okay.
And one of my favorite tips is number 4 is do not bring negative memories on the event of Valentine's Day. If something happened 5 years ago, you had an argument with your mother-in-law, your sister-in-law, whatever the case, or you had argument over the kids, just leave it in the past because I promise you this is going to spoil the evening and it's going to cause a lot of negative.
Find something else to talk about.
Exactly.
Something juicy and good.
Something beautiful. Even if you can try to plan your next trip. Maybe you want to go to Hawaii or somewhere. I don't know.
Okay.
Just something beautiful. And the 5th etiquette mistake which we should avoid is we always have to maintain eye contact because usually in business etiquette I advise that we have to have the strong eye contact, but we need to break it from time to time. In this particular case, we can actually dive in the other person's eyes.
No, that might get a little too creepy. You look at us.
Yes. Exactly.
Not
for the business occasions, but for the personal ones, you want to show the person that is
You're
very
listening.
important. You're present. You're not on your phone. So,
I love it.
And if you follow those etiquette tips, I promise you have amazing Valentine's Day.
Maryanne Parker, thank you for being here. Good advice.
You.
Hopefully you do this and your Valentine's Day turns out to be magical. 9:51. 3 new movies.
Yay, Maryanne Parker. How many appearances had you done before you hit Fox 5 San Diego?
I think it was 12 or 13. I'm not sure. Maybe a little more.
Wow, so you've done a lot only this year. You've done like 17 this year?
I've done this year 20. Yeah, my goal was to do 20. That's why I was wondering how to make it happen, and I was missing one. I was, oh my God, I just need to hit one more to make 30 altogether. But I got the Philadelphia, and now they asked me for another one, so I'm going to exceed a little bit, so it's going to be 31. But yeah, I did a few. Unfortunately, with the Fox 5, it's very difficult for me. I can't get there, but KUSI love me. They love me.
This was a great segment, and I would like you to please talk about the difference in the way you felt doing this segment compared to the first one that you did. This was only 12 segments later, but yet you had a whole different level of maturity and poise and composure when you're on this segment doing the exact same material that you did 1 year earlier.
Yes. Well, I was much more confident. I was considering the fact that actually many people know me in the city already, so I had to do well. Unfortunately, they were a little hostile because somebody came to me and they said, "Are you coming on behalf of Elaine?" I said, "No, I'm just my own, my own company, different person." So they were kind of shocked when they saw me.
Because what you're saying is that they were expecting their favorite, who's a regular on there, and somehow you managed to sneak your way in.
Yes, I somehow managed to get in, and I don't know how. Up to today, they loved it, but at the same time, this girl, Shelly, she was really hostile. She didn't talk to me. She didn't smile at me. Nothing. So I said, okay, whatever. And I still did my segment, but I can't get there because, they kept their people. And I've tried to do CW. I'm sorry, maybe I'm changing the subject, but I tried to do with CW. And Tiffany was so mad at me because I literally called her. And she said, "Oh, if I need an etiquette expert, I'm going to call you." So she was really rude. And this made me so mad because I'm their own person here in San Diego and they don't want to support me. So I called Philadelphia and they booked me from a voicemail. I got so mad. So sometimes, guys, if somebody, Media Market 100 doesn't want to book you, number 4 is going to book you.
For some reason, the quality of the segments that I create for you guys is better than what a lot of these producers want in these smaller markets. But that doesn't mean it's right for you to go there. It doesn't mean it's right for you to go there until you're ready. Now, Maryanne Parker, 30 segments later, here we are in Philadelphia.
Person who does the video is so brilliant. They have such a good quality of video.
Well, what I find is that a lot of times when you go on these bigger markets, it's easier because everybody's more professional. Yes?
Yeah, it's just beautiful. I love it.
Here we go.
Day, Philadelphia. It's just the season of giving, as you know, but do you know how much you should? We do this every year.
Because people debate over it every year.
Yeah, and the rules change every year. Like your letter carrier, hairstylist, dog groomer. How much do you tip people? How about the doorman at your building? We have an expert. I get confused every time at this year or this time of year, or however way you want to put it. Who do you tip? How much do you tip? People in your life that help you out. So what is the going rate in 2018?
So we're bringing in an etiquette expert, Maryanne Parker, here to help us out because you specialize in these things.
Yes, I do.
Good
morning.
Kind of her thing. She's from Bulgaria. Welcome to Philadelphia.
Yes, thank you.
Nice to have you. So let's break it down into different categories. Let me get my specs out.
Because really it depends on how often you work with the person or how often you deal with them.
This is exactly correct because usually you tip people you communicate throughout the year.
Right.
And I have to tell you that I discovered the secret because every year I'm very stressed out. I have a big list. Who do I tip? Who do I skip? I have kids to get presents for.
Right.
So you have to be creative. That's the secret.
All right.
You have a guideline, but you need to be creative.
Let's start with people we see, like a hairdresser, manicurist, pet groomer, people like that. How much would I give them?
You give them the cost of one service. So sometimes, especially for us, the ladies, we spend a lot of money for the hairdresser.
Right.
At times, might cost $200, $300.
Right.
So you can't really afford all the time to tip this amount of money. So what you do, you can pay partially, but at the same time, you can add, for example, a gift card or some kind of a present. If you're very domestic, you can make cookies. But me personally, I don't try to take a chance because I don't want to disappoint anybody. For example, my hairdresser, I've been working with him for 10 years. So I know everything about him. So I know that he loves coffee. So I'm going to give him a tip and I'm going to get him something
That's a very good
coffee
point.
related.
Because if it costs you for the $500 for cut and color, you can't afford to give them $500.
Right. Yes, you are going to send a very negative vibe. Oh, I gave you $500.
So what's the portion then that we need to give?
You can give a half of the amount. Yes. Okay. But
And
be
something
creative, and you always have to bring something from the heart.
And
because
coffee.
yes.
Okay, let's get to the next one. We don't have much time. Like a babysitter, housekeeper, dog walker, people like that.
Yes, you pay the cost of 1 week of service. For example, if you have a housekeeper and she comes twice per month, you want to give her the pay for 1 week. And always make sure that you give her a little gift as well, because she knows everything in your house, right? Mm-hmm. At the same time, if you buy an expensive TV and you don't want to tip her, she already knows that you spend the money somewhere else. So you want to be gracious. Okay. For the nanny, you want to go above because she takes care of your children.
Yeah.
And you can actually add a nice note from your children. Could be really sweet.
That's sweet notes. And cheap.
Yes, exactly.
Letter carriers, UPS delivery person, FedEx,
For them,
Amazon.
Yes, we don't really pay them in cash or gift cards because it's actually on their website, so we don't want to get in trouble with the law. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you want to be really, really nice to them because they work very hard as well. You know, you can leave some little gift into the mailbox. The FedEx people, they actually can get gifts up to $75. Oh, okay. So that's a big amount of money, but their job is also very important.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So what about just miscellaneous ones like the sanitation workers or house maintenance?
Extremely important because you don't really see them all the time, but they do a tremendously important job. So you need to check the guidelines in the area, and you always have to give them something. I usually give them a cider or a box of cookies, something nice.
Oh, apple cider.
Apple cider, yes.
But sometimes they put the envelope out like they want money. Seems like.
If you don't really know the requirements for the area, don't take a chance. But if they want a different tip, maybe between $15 and $30 would be nice per person.
A lot of people watching the show live in high-rise buildings. They have door people, and sometimes there's 10 or 15 of them. What do you do?
What you do, actually, the person, the doorman, is your eyes and your ears, if you think about it, because depends which area you are. Also depends very much, are you renting there? Are you owning the place? So if you're owning, but you're renting it to somebody else, you really want to tip the doorman because they pay attention who is going inside the building, what do. They are not just standing there and smiling. So some people, I read somewhere that they can get a tip up to $10,000 per month because every single person from every unit pays them.
I thought you meant what each person should get. I was like,
if it's an upstate neighborhood, they get a lot of money.
Yeah. How much should the person be?
So you can the starting point is $50, $75. You can go depending on the level, on the area and everything.
$75.
Yeah,
Does it depend if you're an owner versus a renter, or
no? Not necessarily. If you're a renter and you get a lot of good service, you always want to tip as well. But if you're an owner, you definitely want to tip them. You know, so you want to be on the right note.
Good to meet you.
Very nice meeting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And say, is it open?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Maryanne.
That's not how it works.
Oh,
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
Oh my God, you're such a talker, Maryanne. I can't believe all these things that you said. Like the doorman is your eyes and ears. They're not just there smiling. All these things. That was so. You're such a good talker now.
Do you think that I should talk a little bit less because this was talk? The guy was worried that I'm gonna go above the segment, I guess, because he's like.
I didn't think you were talking too much. Hey, look, their job is to interrupt you. I thought you did great.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking, oh my goodness, I think that I'm talking too much because actually the producer told me when I start talking, I have to inject some kind of a story, like I said, about my hairdresser, about this, about that.
Yeah.
So I was talking quite a bit, though.
They invited you back, right? The producer invited you back. You have a confirmed appearance date on the 27th of December to go back to Philadelphia?
Yes.
They loved it. I mean, come on, Maryanne. They're not just putting people on the show just to fill time. This is Philadelphia. This is the number 4 market in America.
Right.
Now, my only criticism of this is, come on, baby, where's the teeth?
Yeah, that's I wasn't really smiling here. I don't know why. So I'm gonna be smiling next week.
You better be smiling next week. I better be seeing a lot of teeth from you because I didn't see him in this segment. And you were still great. I mean, you were very authoritative. You really seemed like an expert. But if you were to smile more, if you were to smile at all, you'll do a lot better and you'll get invited back again. And indeed, look, when you go back there again, you should come back there with 5 proposals and give it to that producer when you are walking out of their studio on the 27th. You should say, hey, I really love coming here. This is this is the best studio I've been in America, and I've been on stations all across America. Here's 5 more segments I'd like to do for you. What would January be?
I don't know about January, but I was thinking about February for Valentine's Day because I'm thinking to try to get to Chicago and to Philadelphia.
Okay, great. So February is going to be Valentine's Day, and then what about March? March is St. Patrick's Day. Is there any particular etiquette for St. Patrick's Day?
I can figure out always some kind of an etiquette.
Very good. You should.
They're constantly something.
You should. And then that's March. And then April is what?
April is Easter.
Easter etiquette. Very good. You have a segment on that already. And then May?
Oh, yeah, I do.
May is Mother's Day etiquette.
Yeah, it's every single month that you can get on TV. It's just with etiquette is not, I can create, and I know how to create them now, so I'm not worried. But yeah, and June is business etiquette month, so I think that we can talk about business, and I have a new book coming in March, so I've got a lot of things going on.
Hey,
so
you go back there with 5 segments that you want to go do. Yeah. That's how...
Yeah, she wants me to do the champagne.
Great. No, I mean, you're going back there on the 27th with the champagne, but I'm saying when you leave there on the 27th, you are going to bring that producer the bottle of champagne as a gift, and you are going to give her 5 more proposals and say, hey, I really love this studio. This is the best station I've been on in America, and I've been on TV all across America. And here's 5 more segments I'd like to do with you in the next couple of months, each one for the holiday. I'd love to keep coming back.
Yeah, okay.
Do that.
Yeah, that's great.
Maryanne Parker, you are going to be the next Dr. Kellyanne Petrucci. Dr. Kellyanne Petrucci went on Fox Detroit 8 times in 1 year, and then she came back to Celebrity Launchpad her 2nd time and booked Los Angeles, and then from Los Angeles she got on Dr. Oz, and now she's a regular recurring guest on Dr. Oz. She's been on Good Morning America lots of times. She's had multiple New York Times best-selling books, and if you can get back on Fox Philadelphia and become a regular recurring guest on Fox Philly, then your competition who's recurring in San Diego, they can go, whatever.
Yeah, I think so, because I'm seeing that they're trying to copy me, but because they don't have how Kurt said it so well. He said you have to be relevant and you have to post it consistently. People need to know that you are around. People who don't know you don't exist. So it's so true. So this is what I'm I'm constantly doing something. Even if it's publications, it's going to be TV, I don't care. I just need to be there.
Yep.
Because that's the only way. But I definitely want to get to the... So how Dr. Kellyanne, she was traveling, she was going to Detroit?
She went to Detroit 8 times in 1 year. If Dr. Kellyanne can go... Far from her? She lives she was living in New Jersey, and she flew from New Jersey to Detroit 8 times in 1 year because she kept getting on that show.
Oh, because for me it's so far, but I'm thinking, you know what, how Tony Robbins said, so what, you're not going to be flying with your hands, you're going to be on the airplane.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to think that way because it's closer on the East Coast, somehow it's closer to New York, right? Not somehow, but it is.
It is.
So,
it's a lot closer to New York. If you could become a regular recurring guest in Philadelphia, that's freaking fantastic.
No, they really liked me for some reason, and even the producer wasn't there. So there were 2 girls, and they were like, oh my God, we liked it. So it was fun. Hopefully I'll do better. I'm not going to talk so much, but I have a great segment for the champagne. I think that is going to be my favorite segment so far because I love it. She wants me to show on TV how to open the champagne, what are the mistakes, so things like that. It's going to be fun. And I found the hotel that is literally 5 minutes from the studio. You actually walk. So after the segment, I went back to the hotel. The hotel is stunning. I rested. It was just amazing. Everything was great. So let's see what happens. But I'm going to have to go because I need to go pick up my kids.
All right, before you go, what is your advice to people who want to grow up and be just like Maryanne Parker? On TV, speaking in famous places, hanging out with celebrities, and making a difference and getting people, returning their emails, booking them for speaking engagements, hiring them, and living their dreams, driving a red Mercedes-Benz convertible. What do you say to the people who want to be you?
That's so crazy because a few people told me that they want to be me, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. So what I do, I'm just very, very consistent. I'm not the smartest person around. I'm not the most, I'm not a model or anything like that. But I discovered that if you're consistent, you get anything you want. That this is all I do every single day. I actually got interviewed by New Zealand Herald, 53 professionals from all over the world. They picked 6, and one of them is me. So that's crazy because they don't know who I am, but they see that I'm everywhere. So that's the secret. So we have to do all the time. We have to do it because if you go on TV 5 times and after that you decide to go 2 years later, I don't think that the impact is the same because you lose the momentum. You scared again. You put on weight. I don't think that it's going to work that way for me. So I need to do it now. And I read a lot of, for example, Kevin Hart, Steve Harvey, all of those people. Sofia Vergara, she speaks with a very heavy accent. People used to laugh at her. She couldn't get a job. Now she's in Modern Family making millions of dollars. And you get everything when you've got money. It is what it is.
Consistency, being out there every day, not stopping at 5 appearances, but continuing on and on and on and on. You don't want to feel like a fake. You don't want to feel like you are bullshitting them and skipping steps and trying to get a lucky break. You want to feel like you earned it. You want to feel like you deserve it. You want to feel like you belong there. You want to know going in that you're going to be great, because you've done the same segment over and over and over again the way Maryanne Parker has and will continue to do. Maryanne Parker, Magic Messenger Extraordinaire, you have come so far. We are so proud of you. Ali and I love you, appreciate you, and we are so excited to continue to support you in your progress all the way to the top, because that's exactly where you're going. And for every one of you who are watching this, if you want to be like Maryanne Parker, you need to do what Maryanne Parker does. You need to come to trainings. You need to speak at important places like the Harvard Club of Boston or NASDAQ or at West Point. We have the West Point event coming up in May. You need to come to Celebrity Launchpad. How many times have you been to Celebrity Launchpad, Maryanne?
I've been twice. I've done twice Harvard. I've done NASDAQ. I've done West Point. I've done, I think, 3. I attended 3 VIP speakers, which was amazing. One of them was in Las Vegas. I'll never forget this event when it was actually the shooting happened. But it has been absolutely amazing. And I don't care. People are, why are you going on TV? Grant Cardone said, you answer because I can. If person with millions and millions and millions of dollars go and doesn't sleep and work hard, so we can do the same thing. I want to be successful. I'm not here to play games and to pretend that I've got money, and I want to be on top.
Guys, it's not about only doing Celebrity Launchpad and our appearances. It's not only about speaking at the Harvard Club in Boston or at NASDAQ or West Point. How many other places have you spoken at, Maryanne?
Well, I constantly do a lot of things. For example, I met Tony Robbins. There was Magic Johnson. Grant Cardone's wife. She was next to me because I got a VIP. You need to go a little larger. You can't be this cheap person and to expect things to happen for you, which I was really scared to do before. But now I actually approached somebody and I said, you know what? I actually spoke to Reggie Bush, Caitlyn Jenner, and Magic Johnson. And I want to do this. about sports and etiquette. How do you have any idea? So when you have things going on, people, appreciate you more. They don't know who you are. But I already spoke to. I'm serious. Like we were together, met Caitlyn Jenner. I met personally Reggie Bush. I was at one of his events. I paid. I bought a ticket, and because you trained me, you said when you meet a celebrity, you take a picture. So I was sitting next to Black China's attorney, Martley, or whoever his name was. So I said to his girlfriend, she got a little tipsy. I said, look, I want to take a picture with Reggie Bush. Can you call him? Because there are hundreds of people. She said, of course, Reggie, can you come here? So Reggie Bush started talking to me. He thinks that I'm a celebrity too. He doesn't know who I am. But I'm sitting next to Mosley. So I think that's the way it's going to be.
Action gets action. Action gets reaction. You got to be in action doing all kinds of stuff. And that's the great thing about TV is that not only are you in action, but you get these great videos. You get to talk about it. You get to make videos when you're traveling there. You get to all kinds of stuff comes out of it. And if you want to make it happen, you need to go to guaranteedcelebrity.com, guaranteed with a D, celebrity.com, because I am looking forward to seeing you on TV, just like I see Maryanne Parker all the time. Maryanne, mwah. And that's going to wrap it up for this week's webinar. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Bye-bye.